What's going on, trucking junkies? It's bright out here and warm. We're here in Sparta, Tennessee, dropping off some hardwood that we picked up yesterday over in North Carolina. Now look at this place. You come into this place, it looks like you're coming into some kind of plantation or something. So I looked this place up, and I just talked to a gentleman over there. Where's the sun? There it is. I looked this place up and started talking to the guy over there. It's their break time. They had a train whistle telling them to go to break. He said that they started this business back in the, early 1900s, building wagon wheel spokes. He said they really got popular when World War I came along, and they were making them for like the ammo carriages and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. On the inside where the bathrooms are, they've got all their old machinery and stuff like that. Sometimes you just come to these places as a flatbed driver. You know, you drive in and reefer trucks, y'all don't get to see any of this. We get to go to some interesting places. Not quite sure where we're gonna go after this, but it is Dale's last week. Tomorrow will be his last day. He ready to get off the truck. He said he's tired of Jeremy. He's like, tired, man. He's like, man, Jeremy's all over me, man. Nah, he's doing great. He'll be a good one. But like I said, I don't know where we're going after this. We'll figure it out. Let's go. What is going on, trucking junkies? We're back in the driver's seat. Del DeCarlio, he is off graduating. It's a Monday and we're headed down to go get some gypsum. I had to stop here and get some fuel and some DEF because we were low. DEF light was on. That's not good. That prompts a phone call from maintenance going, did you know your DEF was low? And I was like, yeah, I did. I'm gonna go down here and get some. We got some. So now we're just waiting on everybody to get out of the way so we can get on. Let's go, peeps. In the way. Before we go any further, hit that subscribe button. Oh man, we got, what is this, August, September, October, November, December, 5 months. We got 5 months to hit 5,000. We're at like 4227, something like that. I don't know. Hit that subscribe button for me. Yes, I know, lady. I got her up there because she's charging. This charger sucks. They suck, they suck, they suck. Oh, ow. It's been a minute since I've been in this seat. But we're gonna go pick up this gypsum board down here in Nashville, Arkansas. And then it is 700 and something miles to drop it off. We won't drop it off until Wednesday. I don't know. We might be able to drop it off early tomorrow. We'll see. Oh, this guy want to turn this way. Okay. Come out of one parking lot and go into another. Let me back it up here. Alright. So, I'm going to address one of I'm going to address a comment that I get the most in today's video. Okay? So you guys stay tuned for that. I guess Pam couldn't find what they needed over at Petro. They got to come over to Pilot and get what they need, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he needed some Burger King or something. Look both ways.
0.1 mile ahead. Turn right on US 70 West.
Maybe they needed to go to Amazon. Who knows?
Turn right on US 70 West.
Also, do me a favor and hit that Amazon store of mine. I make a commission on all the sales from my store, but it is stuff that I use. I'll leave a comment. I'll pin a comment at the top. It helps out the channel, you know. Helps me pay for that stinking pool. Speaking of that pool, so I was off on Friday.
2 miles ahead, turn left on ramp to I-440 West East Belt.
I was off on Friday so I could get some stuff done, and one of the things that I needed done was I had set it up for someone to come and another person to come and look at the pool, because the first person hasn't gotten back with me. It's been 2.5 weeks. And of course, when they came out and looked at it, all he did was look at it. He didn't do any measuring. He didn't do any of that stuff, right? So I'd set up another person to come out and look at it. They were supposed to be there at 7:30. Well, between 7:30 and 8 on Friday morning. And then Friday afternoon, I had to go to the bank, sign a bunch of papers and stuff so I could pay for the pool. Well, that person never showed up. And it was, honestly, it was a good thing I was off that day, because on Thursday night, my son calls me and he says, "What are you doing?" I said, I'm doing nothing but hanging out here by the pool with the wife, right? I said, "What's up?" And he says, "Well, I'm down here at the international dealership.
Turn left on ramp to I-440 West East Belt.
I'm down here at the international dealership. My truck's in the shop. It's getting all this maintenance and stuff done with it, and they're finding all these things that need to be fixed." He said, and they're not going to be done until tomorrow. He said, "Can I come and hang out at the house? Can you come pick me up?" I was like, "Absolutely." So I bebopped down there and picked him up and got to hang out Thursday night, and then we hung out Friday morning waiting for this pool guy to show up, and he never shows up. So at about 10 o'clock, you know, a couple hours later, I gave him a couple hours. I sent him a text and said, "Okay, dude, like you were supposed to show up, you know, 2 hours ago. I got no phone call, got no text, nothing. So I guess I'll move on." So I did.
3 miles ahead, turn left on ramp to I-440 West East Belt.
So I did, called somebody else, and they're supposed to be there at 5 o'clock tonight to look at it, discuss what we want out of the pool. The wife's going to be there.
Turn left on ramp to I-440 West East Belt.
She'll let them know. She knows what we want. And then they're supposed to measure it, and then get me an estimate on what it's going to cost. So that service, now these guys, they may actually show back up, because it's costing me $220 to have them come and measure it and discuss what we want done. So hopefully these people will actually show up, since I'm paying them. We'll see.
Take left ramp to I-30 West.
But with me being off on Friday, I got to hang out with Isaac, you know, most of the day. Got to see the parents. The parents were in Sherwood. Ended up being his truck wasn't going to be fixed on Friday either, so we went and ran and got stuff out of his truck. And then my parents were down in Sherwood, and they dropped by, and he lives in the same town they do, so they dropped by. Thank you, I appreciate it, Mom and Dad. They dropped by and picked him up and took him home, so I wouldn't have to drive all the way to Searcy and back, which saved me a butt ton of money. I also had to put my pickup truck back into the shop. Something's not right with the transmission they put in it. So it was a heck of a weekend, man. So yeah, do me a favor.
hit that Amazon button down there. If you need anything truck related, pool related, house related, I've got all kinds of little videos and stuff on my Amazon store that you might enjoy. I don't know. Anyway, let's get down here and pick up some gypsum. So we have made it to Nashville and gotten loaded. Look, we got a solid rectangle. Check that out. I normally get a bump in the middle. Screws all the tarpon up. Not today. Not today. Warm.
Motherfucker. I will tell you, this stuff is super bright, super hot. Man, it's got to be one of the hottest places we go. Seriously. Man, all the bungees that dude gave me when we switched trailers suck. They suck. They're either broke or trying to get broke. Look at that. I don't know if y'all saw that. Look at that. I mean, warm, warm, warm. It's too warm out here. I think I still button up the back over here. They used to do all this for you, the fronts and the backs here. Apparently that was too much for them, so they're not doing them anymore, apparently, I guess. All right. We'll do them up. They better not yell at me about being on a trailer though. They can kiss butt. One, two, three. Mirror holder. Okay then. Three to the other side. No! It's so hot, my hands are weak. Can't hold on to nothing. Get up there. stop, take a shower. Whew. Let's be way down here. There we go. What in the... There we go. One more to throw. All right, so you guys want to know what the #1 question is that I get asked, and I guess ultimately what the answer is. I guess #1 question I get asked is, can I request you as a trainer? I don't know what the problem is here, why they're not fitting, or whatever. There we go. Now I've been asked this question I don't know how many times. Oh man. This weekend it was 3 comments alone wanting to know the answer. There we go. And my answer to that is always the same. I have no control whatsoever over my students, over the picking of my students, I should say. Come back off that corner. There we go. No control. It's behind it. There we go. And as far as I know, and I've spoken to the head recruiter guy, the guy that's over all that, there is no way to request your trainer. I had 3 gentlemen on Thursday stop me there in the driver's lounge. They were waiting on their trainer truck, getting graduated, and they were hoping that they could request me. Come here. Come here. There is a bunch of factors that go into whether or not I get hooked up with somebody, with my next students. #1 is my availability. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the way I train students is usually they are on my truck 9, 10, 11, 12. Sweet. Usually they are on my truck anywhere to 3 to 4 weeks. Once they are off my truck I usually take a week or two off from a student. So there can potentially be 5 weeks that I have a student and I don't have a student before I get my next student. Now, why do I take time off from having a student? You'd say, Jeremy, they do all the work. Well, 90% of the work at least, right? Wouldn't that be a benefit to me? It is. But just like anything else, man, sometimes you got to have a mental break. Okay? It can be exhausting teaching. I have trained 20 students according to Maverick's calculations. I don't keep up with it, so I'm gonna guess they know. And I want you to imagine saying the same thing over and over and over again to different people various times during the year. Now, I want you to also think you got to say it over and over and over again, sometimes more than once, while that same student is on your truck. You know how tiring that is? And how mentally taxing it is to not go, do you not listen? I've already said this. Now, I will tell you that I have had some pretty good students. Because compared to some of these horror stories that I have heard from other trainers, my students seem to be pretty good. And I have enjoyed every one of my students that has been on the truck. Don't think I haven't. Because I have. But just like anything else, sometimes you just got to take a break. Just is what it is. So yes, I enjoy my students, but I need a break. And I have no control over who gets on my truck. So the way they match them up is, like I said, one of the variables is when am I going to be available, you know, and that's the only variable that I can control, other than smoking or non-smoking. Well, okay, I take that back. There are 3 variables that I can control. When I take a break, when I take a student, I can control that unless they call me and say, Jeremy, we really need somebody to take this student. And then I'll usually say, okay, give them to me. And then the second one is whether you smoke or not on my truck. I'm okay with vaping. You want to smoke a cigar, no problem, as long as you're going down the road. You stick that sucker outside the window, because I've been known to do that my dang self. And vaping is okay, because most of the time it smells like something other than cigarettes. Cigarettes I do not want on my truck. They stink. You can't get the smell out. A cigar, at least a cigar, you can get the smell out. And half the time they don't stink. But a cigarette, my wife smokes. She smokes menthols, so it's not so bad. But actual cigarette smoke, it is hard to get out of fabric. It's hard to get out of the truck. and it stinks. So that's variable number 2 that I can control. And variable number 3 that I control is I don't take any women. Okay? And that is not a knock on women. I think women come out here and do this just like a man. Okay? As a matter of fact, I think they could do just about any job just like a man if they put their minds to it, and they have the physical presence to do it. Okay? And most women, if they don't have a physical presence to do it, they can figure it out, just like most of us guys that aren't very tall or, you know, big muscled or any of that other good stuff. We figure it out. The reason why I don't take women comes from my retail management days. All right? In my mind, it had been ingrained in me that you're never in the office as a male by yourself with a female. It's called cover your own ass. What we at Walmart called CYA. So we didn't do that. So whenever there was a trip to go somewhere, I'll give you an example. There were a few of us that went down to Houston to help with stores after Hurricane Harvey hit. And in the car, there was our market manager, Vicky, who was a female, and there were 3 other dudes. Okay? Nobody was alone with Vicky at any point. Just the way we do it, just the way we roll, man. And that's just ingrained in me. That's why I don't train females. Okay? It's just a me thing. It's not a them thing. It's me covering my own ass the best way I know how. All right? My wife doesn't care. She told me it was totally up to me whether I wanted to take females or not. So I don't. But with all that said, those are the only 3 things that I can control. There's another one that needs to be thrown away. All the rest of it is matched up through Maverick, who's available. They don't even care where you're from, where your train is from. They really don't even care whether or not you're going to be OTR flatbed, regional, USA, boats, dedicated. I think the only dedicated that they actually train for dedicated is down there at Garden, where they're doing the chips. I believe that's it. There's plenty of guys that get on a dedicated truck to do their training, and all they do is one specific load the whole time. They don't get out here and they don't get a coil, or they don't get a thing of gypsum like this, or they don't get wood product, or you know, whatever else. Is that detrimental to the student? I don't know. Did you pay attention in class to the securement stuff? That would be my first question. There's also video on each ELD to show you all of that stuff. So can you find that info? Yes. Do you have to get it out here on the truck? No. There's a lot of times where my students don't get all the training. They don't get all the stuff. It just happens. Definitely gonna have to take a shower. I gotta get up there and do that part too. And cinch down my stuff. So there you go. That's how it's operated, man. Can't request me. I tell everybody the same thing. It's luck of the draw, man. You might get me, you might not. Fuck. Let's get all these cinch down, get out of here. Let's go.